Dad's dream to talk about his favorite team with the son digging the stats. Come and join us, nerding on the Dbacks.
I'm not going to remember that. Hello, welcome to Nerding on the Dbacks. I am your host, Phoenix, or Son.
And I am Dad/Chris. Yes. And this is the best
and only
father-son baseball show
in America.
That's right. And I got this one in
Family Guy.
Oh, yeah, Family Guy. Yeah.
Not a country, but a good show.
Yeah, there's nothing like this in Family Guy at all.
No.
All right. And I told you to remember. Look at you. You did it so well.
I did?
Yep.
Okay.
Good job. You could talk a little louder.
What? Huh?
Well, don't blow out the earbuds.
What?
All right.
What if they're not wearing earbuds?
Then, all right. Let's move. I don't really have a good answer for that. Their ears. Or just the microphone. Don't make it go pop, pop, pop.
Okay.
Yeah. So, first, please like, comment, subscribe, and of course, channel Unity Kindergartner.
And share.
Yeah. Let's do it. So, we're going to be playing the one and only.
Did you really just say that?
That's right. So, Dad and Son, come on down. That's right. So we're going
already down here.
Did you really just say that is the greatest game show in all of sports, where we make 3 predictions each on each show. Each of us make 3 predictions on each show, and those predictions must
be quantifiable.
Yep.
We will track hits like doubles, triples, and home runs.
We don't track triples.
Yeah, we don't track singles either. Doubles and home runs and
singles. Yeah, singles are just hits.
Oh, we will say what if it's a
decide
single, double, or home run.
Yeah. After we make the prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when we make it.
Yeah, and of course, so we always start each. Did you really just say that? With going over what happened. And so we're going to start off with the good news, and you had a good week.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it, son. Give yourself a little bragging time.
All right. I went 2 for 2, just like Lourdes. I said Dbacks will shut out the Cubs in 1 game of their series.
Oh, yeah, I said that.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Got a double for that.
Yeah.
And I said Corbin Carroll will hit a home run before the National Series in July. And I got a single for that.
You said that. Really?
Yeah, that one was good. Like I said, when you made it, it was like a bunt single, but we'll take it. You need to pad those stats sometimes with easy hits.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Lourdes wouldn't do that, but
so you got it, and that is a good week, and it was super fun. I mean that shutout by the D-backs and which was a Zach Gallen start, was crazy. He had so many runners on base constantly. I'm not sure, but I think it was had a single game career high in walks with 6. But he only struck out 4, but he didn't let anyone get home. So yeah, it was simultaneously a fantastic and terrible pitching performance. So one poorly placed hit, and that could have gone really south fast. So that's awesome, Phoenix. Good job, buddy. And then let's see what Dad did. Oh, not so good. So I had one prediction come off the board, and it was there will be 25 or more strikeouts in the 2024 All-Star Game.
Did he really say that?
there were 5. No, I don't know how many.
No, there were 15. Yeah, it was a long cry. I'm impressed that's all there was, because it's a good job by those hitters. It was kind of high scoring, 5-3 for an All-Star game. That's kind of high scoring, and it was a fun All-Star game all together. So, I'm sad that I got it wrong, but I'm happy the All-Star game was more entertaining than I expected it to be.
I barely watched it. So.
Oh, yeah, that happens. All right, so now let's talk
I only
about.
watched the D-Backs.
Let's right. that is far more important for sure.
Yeah.
So let's discuss this. Let's discuss this. These stat lines here for the season.
All right. So, since I went perfect, I'm gonna start first. I had a .353 batting average,
Yeah, you have a 353 batting average.
4 doubles, and 2 home runs.
Yeah.
And Dad has a .371 batting average, 3 doubles, and 1 home run.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's
our
awesome.
Stat lines.
I still got you by a few points in batting average, but I'm certain if we carved out slugging percentage out of this, kind of like you said you wanted to do.
OPS, yeah.
Well, batting average is going to be the same thing as on base percentage because we have
I
no
said
walks.
OPS.
Yeah. It's all on base percentage is going to be the same
No,
thing as
that's
batting
OPP.
average. I know.
I saying OPS.
Yes.
But that
So what I'm saying is batting average and slug are going to be all you need in this instance to calculate OPS because there's no on-base percentage. Okay, yeah, that's all.
okay.
Just getting nerdy
Yeah, on the D-backs.
on the D-backs. And so here we
More
go.
on the stats.
Since Phoenix, you got a couple right. Why don't you start the new predictions that we're gonna make for this week?
Yes, okay. So, for my new prediction, I said the Diamondbacks will win the Pirates series on July 26th to July 28th, and the series from August 2nd through August 4th.
Wow.
Yep.
Did you really just say that?
Say all that again.
So, the Diamondbacks will win the Pirates series on July 26th to 28th, and the other Pirates series from August 2nd through August 4th.
Okay, so you're saying they're going to win both series versus the Pirates?
Yes.
All right. I like it. All right, that's a lot of games. Yeah, they're going to have to. It does go back to what we were talking about last week. They are only scheduled to face Paul Skeens once in their 6 games, which is certainly a big help for the D-backs. Like they're gonna be favored most likely in every game outside of the Paul Skeens game, and that certainly is. I mean, by a minor amount, but they probably will be.
Paul Skeens called Paul Smeens.
He is insane. He is very good. Everything he was. It was pretty cool. The Paul Skeens story is a pretty cool one, being that a lot of times when guys are like super highly touted prospects and then they come up, especially pitchers, and they're supposed to just be like super dominant, and they're okay. Except for Paul Skeens he's arguably been the best pitcher in Major League Baseball since he first pitched his first inning. It's kind of crazy. He's been absolutely terrific. So, but D-backs fans only get to see him once in their 6 games, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather win more than watch Paul Skeens. I can watch Paul Skeens pitch against any team. It doesn't have to be the D-backs. So yeah, my first prediction is Humberto Castellanos gets sent down for Jordan Montgomery tomorrow. And so I don't know whether you're watching this today, the 22nd, or you're watching it tomorrow on the 23rd, or listening to it. Jordan Montgomery is expected to be activated on the 23rd. And right now, the D-backs, the reason why I think it's Castellanos is right now the D-backs only have 4 starters. They sent down Slade Ciccone on the 11th, and they've been pitching with only 4 starters in the rotation. And typically you have 5-man rotations. Some teams go with 6-man rotations for parts of seasons, and some teams go with 4-man rotations for parts of seasons if they have a lot of days off, which is why the D-backs went with a 4-man rotation since July 11th because they've had a lot of days off between then and now with the All-Star break.
Yeah.
And so Jordan Montgomery probably gets activated from the injured list tomorrow. And I think it's Humberto Castellanos that goes down. I'd say it's a 95% chance it's either Castellanos or Vieiro, but I didn't look it up, but I'm pretty sure Vieiro doesn't have any options left. So they would likely lose him if they decided to waive him. Whereas, excuse me, Castellanos can go down and they can just option him. And typically, you would send down Castellanos. They're kind of the same pitcher from a results standpoint. And so if you can avoid losing one of those players from your roster permanently, you would do that. Most teams typically, if you have 2 guys in the bullpen in the 7-8 spot who are equally futile getting guys out, typically you're going to send down, and one of them has options, you're going to send down the guy with options to avoid losing the depth that you get by keeping the other guy on the roster. So, yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's Castellanos. There is an outside chance it could be somebody else, but I really, really doubt it. And so I think that's what's going to happen.
All right.
Low level, low wattage, not a big one, but
Yeah, he usually never is.
yeah, that's right.
It's usually a single or a single.
So what do you got, Phoenix?
So, for me, I said that Corbin Carroll will hit a No interrupting. Will hit a triple before our next predictions show.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
he can do it. Yes.
I have go Corbin Carroll.
He has 6 on the season, so I believe.
Yeah, I think I like that. That's before our next. Did you really just say that? So in the next week, basically. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. I think I'm willing to call that one just a straight home run right out the gate.
Yep.
Well done.
That's all me.
Yeah.
You hear that a lot from me.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I like it.
I hit. I'm Big Al and I hit dingers.
So very cool. I love it. And
I'm Skinny Phoenix and I hit diggers.
he's got, yeah. So actually, the Royal Stadium where they're playing this next series is really big. And there's a lot of triples hit at that place. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of triples hit in the Dbacks Stadium. It's one of the best. I want to say it's one of the 5 best home run stadiums in Major League Baseball.
I knew that.
According to StatCast.
I knew that.
But I'm almost certain, like the Giants Stadium, I believe the Giants Stadium, the Royal Stadium, and are also like 2 of the other 5 that are in the top. If I was just shooting from the hip, I would guess probably the Padres.
Pew-pew.
And I wonder who else is up there. The Padres and maybe I bet the Royals, or not the Royals, the Rockies. I bet the Rockies have a pretty high triple stadium. Yeah, so
Never been there.
yeah, so that's typically stadiums with big outfields, which it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like stadiums with large outfields with lots of ground, either because they're very deep or they're cut strange, have the most triples. And so, yeah, the Royals just have a really big stadium. They have a very big stadium. It suppresses home runs, but it results in more triples. So, yeah, very cool. I love that. I'm pretty sure he can make that happen. It's a good, for being on the road, you got a couple of good stadiums to make it happen.
Let's go.
Very cool. So, I'm going to piggyback with my second prediction on, for those of you who don't know, Mike Hazen told the media that Slade Cecconi has been moved to the bullpen in Reno. So after he got sent down on the 11th, he is no longer going to be a starting pitcher in the Dbacks organization. Now, he may be a starting pitcher again next season, but for the rest of the season, he is going to the bullpen. My guess, because he's going to the bullpen already in the season when they could still potentially use Slade, because right now and this will probably be true for the next month, 4 weeks ish, that if a starting pitcher gets hurt, Slade Cecconi would be the next pitcher called up on the depth chart, so that they're moving him to the bullpen right now while he would be the 6th pitcher on the starting pitcher depth chart, indicates to me that this is probably a permanent move, that he's probably never going to start a game again for the Dbacks. That's not what my prediction is. My prediction is Slade Cecconi is on the playoff roster as a relief pitcher for the Dbacks. So this is really kind of a parlay, because my first prediction is the D-backs are going to be in the playoffs, because if they're not in the playoffs, then I already get this prediction wrong. And then
they're going to be in the playoffs.
I looked it up before we did the show. Right now, the D-backs have a 45%
50
odds.
You get a round up.
46%.
No,
chance. That's rounding up, but yeah, they're roughly like 46% chance of
round
making
up by 10.
making the playoffs. We're not going to the nearest 10th.
That's 50, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so they have a 50% chance.
Good job on your rounding. So they they have a slightly less than 50% chance of making the playoffs according to Fangraphs, and then on top of that, Slade Cecconi, I think he'll be the first relief pitcher called up for any relief pitcher injury after July. They probably want to get him like 5 or 6 relief appearances out of the bullpen before they call him up to the major league team. But if his stuff plays up, even if he just pitches like he did as a starter, his first time through the lineup, they call it first time through the lineup. So the first time you face everybody through the lineup, and then the second time through the lineup, right?
Yeah.
And then the third time through the lineup.
Yeah.
His first time through the lineup, his numbers are really, really, really impressive. Really impressive. It's when he has to face each guy a second time, that's when the wheels come off for him. Like, that's when teams do all his damage. But his first time through the lineup was legitimately as good as any of the D-backs starting pitchers, maybe the best of all the D-backs starting pitchers.
So they just once the team goes up to bat, they don't know what he's gonna do, and then he does the stuff, and then they figured about in this when they go up to hit a second time, and then they just smash them. Yeah.
So a lot of that, how we were talking about 2-pitch pitchers on the last show. So a lot of it, not that Slade doesn't throw more than 2 pitches, but Slade relies heavily on 2 specific pitches, more so than other pitchers. So maybe I'm not exactly sure why this is happening. It's hard to dissect. It could be that his pitches are easy to pick up once you've seen them. He doesn't have a lot of deception, maybe, right? So once you've seen it one time come out of his hand, he's got good stuff, but poor deception. And so once you've seen how it comes out of his hand one time, it's easier for you to pick it up the next time that you're at bat. Could just simply be he runs out of gas and his pitches are not as effective anymore. Though that one usually you can see, and he doesn't have too much of a velocity drop or a spin rate drop. So it doesn't seem like that's it. It could be a command issue. So even though his stuff continues to play well, he can't command the ball as well the second time through, just approximately when he gets going through the lineup a second time. So after about 40 pitches, he just starts to lose accuracy and command with his pitches. So there could be a variety of things to it. It's hard to say, but the most important part is he has pitched very well the first time through the lineup for the most part this season. And when you are a relief pitcher, obviously you rarely face more than six or 7 batters. You almost never go through a lineup a second time. It's super unusual. So him being a relief pitcher, obviously his numbers as a starting pitcher would indicate he'd be a pretty killer relief pitcher out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to bump anybody. They've got 6 really good relievers plus Bryce Jarvis, who's he has pitched better so far in the month of July. Bryce Jarvis has, but I think that said, Cicconi's going to go down. He's going to have to earn a spot in the bullpen, and if the D-backs add a pitcher at the relief pitcher at the trade deadline, that's going to give them 8 relief pitchers or 7 good solid relief pitchers plus Bryce Jarvis, and who I don't think until Bryce Jarvis starts to fail, like legitimately fail, even though he looks like he's constantly failing. Somehow he doesn't. He doesn't give up runs, even though he's constantly got traffic on the bases, and so it's hard to send him down when he's just not giving up runs, even if it looks ugly how he gets there. And he also has some tough competition in AAA with Greg Hollowell and Luis Rivas. Luis Rivas. That's not Luis Frias. Luis Rivas is an old middle infielder who played in the 2000s for a couple different teams. So that's funny. Luis Frias have pitched pretty well in Reno, and I think any of them would be a good call up. But I think Slade is going to prove himself, and he's going to get himself onto the playoff roster for the D-backs.
That's right. You just said that.
That's right. You just said that. Okay. Is that your prediction?
Yep.
I'm going to count that as a home run. Do we agree?
Yes.
All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
So, for my last prediction, I haven't said this in a while. It wouldn't be a Nerding on the D-Backs show without Lourdes. So, in the month of August, Lourdes will have the highest OPS on the team, for the team.
Ooh.
I just said that.
That's big. That's a home run.
Yes.
It's a home run, my friend.
Yes.
Yeah, he is. I think I was just looking at it today. I think he's 6th on the team in OPS for the season. And he's pretty much right. It's not that he's been bad. He's pretty much kind of pretty close. He's got, I think, like a 106 or a 108 OPS plus for the season, which is kind of right in line for his career. I think he's got a 110 OPS plus for his career. So he's pretty much just hitting, kind of doing the Lourdes Gurriel thing. He's going hot, super cold, super hot, super cold, and it all balances out to a slightly above average offensive season. And so that's pretty cool. And of course he just continues to look fantastic in the outfield. Yeah. Even just this past weekend, we were just talking about constantly how it's just like, I don't know if he can catch that ball. And then he catches the ball. And he does it over and over. He always looks like he is never going to catch the ball. And then he always catches the ball.
And we're all like,
so
whoa.
Strange. Yeah. What a catch. Yeah.
Speaking of Lourdes, did my jersey come yet?
I don't know. It says it's coming today, but I imagine because of the road construction outside and the post office not being able to reach our mailbox until this evening, we may not actually get it delivered till tomorrow, unfortunately. But it should be here tomorrow. There's something else in there for you too. All right.
No, it's not going to be here tomorrow because there's going to be rain and the rain's going to flood the street. And
have you ever read the Pony Express? The mail does not stop for rate, sleet, or snow.
What about hail?
I don't know. That wasn't covered.
Okay, hail.
All right. So, my third and final prediction this week.
Oh, there's going to be a flat tire on the mailbox.
Is that Brandon Pfaadt gets 8 or more strikeouts in his next start, which is scheduled to be against the Pirates in Pittsburgh.
I agree.
You just said that.
And so his last 2 starts have been 2 of his 3 best on the season by game score. And yeah.
What is game score again?
Well, we've never talked about game score.
Then what is game score right now?
Game score is a game score. If you're going through the MLB app, like you go through.
I always use the internet,
Yeah. Well.
like Fangraphs or
Okay.
Statcast.
Yeah. So when you look on MLB's website for a game recap, on there you will see game score, and it will show a game score for each pitcher. And you probably wondered, if you've ever seen it, what does that even mean?
What does that even mean?
Yeah. So game score it's a calculation that was originally invented by Bill James back in
Who's that?
1980. He is kind of considered the father of modern baseball sabermetrics. He was, I want to say, just like a warehouse stock boy or something like that. And he just started publishing information out about more advanced and better, more accurate ways to predict. Because most metrics, like advanced metrics, sabermetrics, whatever you want to call it, analytics in baseball, they don't really exist to tell you anything about what had happened per se. They more so exist to help tell you what is going to happen in the future. Not all of it, but most of it. Game score is one of those things that is an exception to that rule, that it is giving you a different lens in which to view how good a starting pitcher was any given particular start. And so game score takes innings pitched. It essentially takes innings pitched. It gives you points for every out that you make, every strikeout, and then it subtracts points for every walk, hit, or home run, with home runs being the most painful, of course. And then there's a new version that was published around by Tom Tango. There's actually been a few versions, but the Tom Tango one actually kind of took off. And Tom Tango's version came out in the 2000s, and that's the one that Tom Tango's version is the one that is actually shown on the MLB box score for game score. And so he had 2 of his 3 best game scores of the season in his last 2 games, and he really seems locked in. He's pretty much pitching the best that he has in his young career, and he's had 8 Ks or more 5 times already this season, and I think he does it again because the Pirates are a high strikeout team, and if he does make that start against the Pirates, I think he does it. I think he makes 8 Ks.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's go, Brandon Pfaadt.
Let's
You
go,
really just
Brandon.
say
I
that?
agree.
Yeah. So what's that?
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
Let's go, Brandon. Yes, let's go, Brandon. Well timed, too. And so, yeah, that's it for our show. Let us know what you think we're probably going to get right, what we're going to get wrong, and we'll discuss it a little bit more when it actually happens.
And we'll be bye-bye now.
Yeah, so again, please like, rate, review our show.
Comment,
Comment.
But most importantly,
Yeah, comment. We do get back to you pretty much every comment. It's fun to have those conversations. And then also, please channel your inner kindergartner.
and share.
Yeah, and if you got a kindergartner who's starting up, well, kindergarten tomorrow or anytime this week, I feel for you. It's a big step in life.
Yeah, share it to them too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's especially appropriate right now with school starting everywhere in the metro area.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy new school year. That's funny. And then also, if you want to follow us, please give us a follow here on any of those platforms. We're also on X, so formerly the social media platform formerly known as Twitter. And
Before Elon Musk took over.
Yep. And so hope to chat with you on there. And you can always check the notes for our show. We've got links to everything. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Have a great evening or day or morning or afternoon
or night. Happy to do it.
Bye.
And if you want to talk to me personally, my phone number is
Under.